Before we continue with the rest of the video, we could use your help. Click that like button to help spread the word about WatchJojo, and also be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss our future videos. When a US soldier was wounded in a minefield, this Nazi officer vowed to save him at any cost. When someone hears the word Nazi, they automatically assume the worst. But this isn't necessarily always the case. The ultimate truth is that not all the Nazis from World War II were bad. Today's story is about a Nazi officer's choice to aid the enemy in dire times. The Battle of Hürtgen Forest during World War II lasted 12 weeks. In one dreadful day of November 14th, while the battle was still on, an unlucky GI stepped on a minefield. He was severely injured and the nearby soldiers heard his cries. The Nazis were losing momentum in the war by the end of 1944 as the long supply lines of the Allies caused logistical problems. The Hürtgen Forest was the main obstacle for the Allies when they were trying to capture the heart of Germany. Even the Nazis knew that this position was vital if they wanted to keep the Allies from entering Germany. The dense forest provided the perfect defense and natural cover in keeping the Americans at bay. There were no proper transport routes, and even when the tanks joined the battle, the dense woodlands gave the Germans ample scope to ambush them. The thick forest allowed the small German troop a perfect cover to take on the superior US forces. During this war, some regiments were taken over easily, whereas some German regiments put on a strong fight and forced the US Army to retreat. As the war progressed, more and more American troops were introduced, and the war continued in November. It was on one such day in November when that unlucky GI ran into the minefield that was supposed to work as a defense mechanism for the Germans. His cries were clearly heard by the Germans, and one officer ordered his men to not fire on medics. The Germans thought that the Americans would come running to help the soldier, so he thought it was better not to fire on them. They stayed there waiting for the Americans to come back for their soldier, but when hours went by and nobody came for his rescue, the officer assumed that none of the American soldiers were close enough to hear his cry. He took it upon himself to help the American soldier. The German officer called for his unit's medics and sent a patrolling team to look for the injured soldier. Lengfeld, being the kind German officer, couldn't allow his troops to go all alone in the minefield, so he led the way and soon got severely wounded by one of the mines and died in the evening. In 1944, the 22nd Infantry Regiment Society decided to erect a monument remembering the German officer who laid his life to save an American soldier. This is how hearts are won, and in no other part of the world will you find a monument like this. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to stay up to date with our daily videos.